Cinderella and the prince were dancing at the ball. They went to the gardens, and then they fall in love. Before midnight strikes, the prince offers Cinderella to be intimate with him in the bedroom. She accepts the offer and then they make love with each other. The next day, Cinderella was downstairs with her stepmother and stepsisters. They noticed that Cinderella was getting bigger than normal. However, Lady Tremaine realized that Cinderella was pregnant. When Cinderella heard what her stepmother said, she started dancing for joy, and that's where the stepmother realized that Cinderella was the girl that the prince was dancing with and got her pregnant. So, Lady Tremaine decides to spike sleeping pills on her tea, which Cinderella gladly took a sip of it. The drug tea took effect on her, and she falls asleep. Many minutes later, Cinderella woke up in the attic, and she felt a lot of pain in her stomach. She tries to get out of the attic, but the door was locked. It turns out that Lady Tremaine had the key to the attic, and locked Cinderella from the inside. She plans to leave Cinderella and her unborn child to die, while her daughters will have the privilege to marry the prince. Unfortunately, the enchantress has arrived and decides to punish the wicked stepmother for her cruel actions towards Cinderella. While all of this is happening, a carriage horse has arrived, and the Grand Duke is here to try on the slipper on every maiden in the Tremaine household. The enchantress has frozen Lady Tremaine in a giant block of ice. The stepsisters were horrified, and the enchantress orders them to find the key to the attic and help Cinderella to give birth. Because if not, then they will suffer the same fate as their mother did. Left with no choice, they found the key to the attic and saved Cinderella. The enchantress invites the Grand Duke in, as he is holding one glass slipper into his hand. The stepsisters managed to save the baby, and allowed Cinderella to hold her child. She heard the Grand Duke talking, as she decides to head downstairs to his what's up. He asks her to try on the slipper, which she gladly said yes. It fits perfectly, and now she is marrying the prince. When she arrived at the castle with her son, she was so happy, and so did Prince Charming, because not only he found the girl of his dreams, but he also had a son. They were now married and lived happily ever after. And 10 years later, Charming had grown up to be a handsome, good-looking young man.